Chivalry is dead. The soft guy era has gone global. So many of you are in my comments going drizzle drizzle, and this thing is spreading like wildfire right now. How far will it go? Will it continue, manifesting this way, or will it fade into the background? Doesn't matter. But one thing is for sure, men are done. Men are done being providers. Men are done being protectors in Western society. The only thing that the only thing that men are going to do going forward is focus on self-preservation and self-care. Men are walking away. And it's intriguing because the manosphere, as I've said this before, is filled with simps. Why is the manosphere filled with simps? What has caused this? It's quite simple. They have nowhere else to go. You see, the simps won't change. They'll always be simps. However, despite all of this, the fact remains that they have nowhere else to go. Women have made society so transactional, so dangerous for men. The state has made society so dangerous for men that men are retreating entirely into their homes. They're going off the grid. They're building home gyms. They're playing only video games. Why do you think they're monitoring men playing video games? There's zero reason for them to be doing this. They just want this put there now because they realize that men are abandoning society. So if you can't monitor men as they move around society, then there's only one other way to do it, is to find ways to monitor them while they're inside their homes. So, I mean, this is how you're setting up a system so they can eavesdrop on men, because now men are walking away. And if men are not out and about, a lot of men, they're only working just enough to survive and thrive, and that's it. Or they're finding remote work, or in the case of, the government notices this, 30%, 30 million men are not working in the United States right now. 30 million able-bodied men. It's not 3 million, it's not 10 million, it's 30 million. And that's a lot of men. That's a lot of men. Men have lost faith in society, but the biggest fear is that if these men are walking away, what are they doing? So, of course, the state wants to keep them, keep an eye on them. Look at this comment right here from Michael. He says, I don't think we are in a recession or a depression. This is a response to a poll I made. We are currently in a deep recession. And he doesn't believe that we're in one of those, or even a depression. He has a different view. He says, pretty much by definition, these things end eventually. I think what we are in is the downward spiral. U.S. national debt roughly doubles every 2 presidential terms. The GDP does not. Therefore, the ability to service the debt is not only diminishing, but diminishing at an even faster rate. There's no pulling out of this dive now. We're all riding it to the scene of the crash, and he's absolutely right. Men see what's going on. Men know what's going on. While women will basically make demands of the state and say that the state needs to come in and rescue them because, rescue society, because women traded in men for the state. That's their daddy. That's been their daddy for the last 60, 70 years. But they don't realize that the state was created by men and that it became egotistical. And now they think that the state is going to rescue them because somehow they have control over the state, or the state actually cares about them. This comment from Grisham says, guys, you better have your 4Gs. God, GUNs, gold, and a getaway plan, because it's about to get real. You see, men have a third sense. Men can sense when things are crashing and burning, when things are going completely flat. The simps, of course, and you know what the simps do? You can see what's happening with the simp economy right now. The simp economy moved online. Most of the simp economy is online right now. Women are using the internet to access the simp economy through OnlyFools and OnlyFans, and that that economy is becoming very mature right now. And eventually, that economy is not going to be able to support anyone else. Like there's a limit to that economy. There's an absolute limit to the OnlyFools economy, to the simp economy online. You know, and it's going to become oversaturated. Now, if we look at this comment right here, this is from Chicharia. He says, "My son is 15. He had the same girlfriend since he was 13. A few weeks back, she monkey branched to a new boyfriend. Thanks to MGTOW, I was able to use that specific word to explain to him what she did. Well, today he told me that the guy broke up with her. Holy cow. And she started to talk with my son again. Guys, this is why it's so important to teach the boys at this early age. Teach them young. Teach them young. By 13, they need to start learning this stuff." He continues by saying, he said, not to worry. He said, not to worry, because it will be hell freezing over before he takes her back. He is homeschooled and a die-hard gamer. He uses his pocket money to invest on the stock market. He uses plus 500. He has been red pilled and is a smart kid. He already knows he doesn't want a job and is going to make his money from online sources. So, and guys, the next big thing is the creator economy, you know? And I've talked about this a few times, but I've said this that, I said years ago, many years ago at this point, that whole luxurious 9 to 5 job market was going to go away. AI was going to be a very big disruptor in a lot of that. And as you can see, the 9 to 5 is going away, and AI is going to be a huge disruptor. But the 9 to 5 is already going away. And I talked about the gig economy, that the gig economy was going to mature and it was going to become a normality. It's going to go from a trend to a normality to a tradition. Now everyone is in the gig economy. Gen Z prefers to work gigs and try to turn gigs into normal jobs. Now we're transitioning into the creator economy. And in the creator economy, it's not just good enough to be a lawyer. It's not just good enough to be a doctor. It's not just good enough to be a plumber. It's not just good enough. You see where I'm going? It's not just good enough to be an accountant. All right, you're gonna have to create value in other ways, just like how you have people like Dr. Mike or Psych Hacks, or all of these different people are what's his name? Is it Mark Rober? Yeah, guys like this, Mr. Beast. I'm not saying you have to strive to be Mr. Beast, but you're going to have to be able to create your own value, just like people did many decades ago, where they had to learn how to create contact list, and because before we had social media, you had to do these things manually. You had to create contacts. You had to go out and meet people, and these things were vital in building clients so that you could, pull from this list. This is the truth. Most young people can't do this today, and most young people won't do this. You're going to have to create your own skills. You're gonna have to learn. You're gonna have to develop a skill set for yourself. And you're gonna have to learn how to market those skills on a global level. Most of Gen Z won't be doing this because they are a bunch of lazy people. They all like the idea of creating content on the internet, but college is not for these people. I mean, look at what they've done in college. The workforce is not for these people. These people are some lazy muffins, lazy muffins, absolutely lazy muffins, and the floor is going to fall out from underneath them. I'll tell you that right now. There's no great future waiting for these good for nothings. They've made their choice, and they're going to have to lay in the beds that they've created for themselves. And most people see it. Most people can feel it already, that nothing good is coming for Gen Z. I mean, they're a bunch of good for nothings. They've tortured society, and you can basically see that the writing is on the wall. They're going to scrape everything clean. You can just basically tell at this point that Gen Z is going to scrape the bowl clean. 100% scrape the bowl clean. Like whatever's left there, they're going to scrape it clean. because they want some that's anything that's left. And if you look at this poll that I just made, in the 2030s, most Gen Zers, and so far we have 32 votes, it says the choices are will be doing well, 3% of the vote, won't be around anymore, 19%, I don't know, 13%, I don't care, 6%, and 59% says won't be doing well. All right, so 59, almost 60% of people that have voted so far believe that Gen Z won't be doing so well. Gen Z won't be doing so well come the 2030s. And the 2030s might seem far away to many of you guys, but then you have to remember that the 2030s are only 6 years away. You know, at the time of recording this video, it's 2024. The 2030s are only 6 years away. It's not a long time. We're almost 5 months through 2024 at this point. And it's like many of you have to wake up and realize nothing lasts forever. Nothing lasts forever. You know, in a flash it'll be summertime, and then after that it'll be winter, and before you know it, we'll be heading into 2025. And I'll just tell you right now, there will be no GTA 6 in 2025. That's a 2027 or 2028 release. All right, and that's being optimistic at this point. There will be no GTA 6 in 2025. Guys, I also want to remind you, don't forget that I have another channel called Angry, where I discuss gaming, anime, geek stuff, nerd stuff, real world stuff, and whatever else interests me. There's a link to it in the description of the video. Go check it out. Subscribe to the channel, enjoy the content. Also, if you're enjoying the content on this channel and you want even more content like this content, check out the Men Walking Away channel, where I release daily videos. Just like the topics that we discuss on this channel, we discuss them on Men Walking Away as well. So you can head over to the Men Walking Away channel, check out that channel if you want even more Angry Guy content. Check the content out, subscribe to the channel, enjoy the work. There's a link to it in the description of the video. Guys, what do you think? Chivalry is dead. The soft guy era has gone global. I want to know your thoughts on this. Let's talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA Men Walking Away. And cheers.